From the Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Dale and Scott.
Again, it's a lie. It's usually lies when we start this show because there's no Dale. Kristen Telastis is here with me. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I was woken up at 4:00 in the morning with sounds that sounded like an airplane landing on our roof. It has been so ridiculously windy here. It's like super wind tunnel. I don't know what's happening. I don't like it.
Oh dear.
But I hear you might be getting some snow.
Tonight we're supposed to get ice actually, which is much worse and is always a pain in the ass because the power goes out. But the weather in Virginia is, I mean, yesterday it was 50 degrees. Today it's 32. Tonight it's supposed to be ice. By tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, it's going to be 48. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy. And you know, here in Las Vegas on Sunday, we hit 80 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
In February.
I know. It's so crazy. What does that mean? What does that mean for July? We're very scared.
Oh, I shudder to think.
Yeah. And in case you guys don't remember, Kristen is in Herndon, Virginia, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Washington, D.C. She's right near Dulles Airport. That's where she is today. And today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. And it's the countdown to the Super Bowl, which is one of my favorite days of the whole year. I love it so much. And I don't really care who's playing. I just like it. And I love the pageantry and the commercials and the food. I know that Kristen is very unhappy that it's the Eagles and the Chiefs. She was, I remember last weekend you were rooting for the opposite two teams, right?
I was. I feel like this is the Super Bowl that no one wanted, but whatever. I'm not going to be a sore loser about it, but I will say, as a lifelong Washington football team fan, I will not ever root for the Eagles. And I just am so tired of the Chiefs. I don't want to see them win. I'm so tired of them. And I know that you love them because of Taylor. Well, and I get it.
It's a stupid reason to love a football team, but
Ugh. I'm so tired of them.
What are your plans for Sunday? And more importantly, are you planning any special Super Bowl food? Because Super Bowl food, I think, is just so much fun.
It is fun. So for years and years, pre my son Max, we used to have a big Super Bowl party, and it would take me weeks to plan it, and I did tons of food. I have to say, I'm sort of looking forward to not having that much of a production to deal with. But of course, I'm going to make chicken wings. Of course, I'm going to make some kind of hot nacho cheese and tortilla chips, some kind of something. And I don't know, maybe something more elaborate. That's one of my favorite parts, is coming up with food to make for the Super Bowl and the commercials, honestly. And as a lifelong Washington team, it's not like we've ever been, it's not like I ever had a team to root for in the Super Bowl ever in my lifetime. So, it's, the fun of it for me is the spectacle of it and the traditions of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's super fun. I am going to make a big crock pot full of chili. That's always been kind of our thing to do. And I think that'll be, and then lots of chips and maybe some of those frozen appetizers that you throw in the oven, that aren't good for you.
I feel like you can't have chili without hot dogs. Do you feel that way or no?
That hadn't entered my mind. I'm happy to have a hot dog. That seems more like a baseball thing to me, but we can try that.
Oh, I feel like you have to have hot dogs with chili, and then you can make a bowl of chili at first, like a small bowl of chili with your cheese and your sour cream and maybe some Fritos. But then you have to come back and have a hot dog on a bun with chili on top of it. I just feel like that is why make chili if you're not going to do that?
Yeah, I do like that idea. All right, well maybe I'll do that. I better get our bit going. It's like 4 days away, So I gotta figure
Are
it
you
out.
having a bunch of people? Are you
We,
having a bunch of people
no,
over?
we don't have any friends, so it'll just be the two of us. And I don't know. I mean, Dale's on assignment this week, so maybe it's just going to be me and the dogs. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. Anyway, I want to talk about this because I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know it, so I had to look it up. Why is the Super Bowl always written with Super Bowl and then Roman numerals? Which I'm really horrible about. I don't really know my Roman numerals. I know X means 10. And I think, and I know that like I and V means 4. So I kind of figured out some of it over the years. But why did it get started? Did you know this history?
I have no idea. I find it annoying. I find it almost as annoying as people who insist on using military time,
Yeah.
which makes me have to do the conversion in my head. It's the same thing with Roman numerals. You have to convert it in your head, and it's an extra step that I don't feel like I should have to waste my brain power on.
Yeah. Military time makes no sense to me, but I guess I understand why they do it. I mean, and I know that 18 is 6 o'clock. That I have memorized. The other ones, and I know 13 is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, I've figured that out over the years, but I don't understand why people use it unless they're in the military.
It's annoying.
So anyway, it turns out that they started using the Roman numerals back in 1971, which was Super Bowl V, because they wanted to make it seem more important. Because it is the most important football game of the year. So that's why they started doing it. So this year it's Super Bowl 59. So it's LIX. The L is 50, the I is 1, and the X is 10. So when you put the I in front of the X, you're taking 1 away from the X. So that's how you get the 59. That's how Roman numerals work. They're weird and crazy. Yeah, you do remember.
I remember how they work, yeah.
And the only year since 1971 that they didn't use the Roman numerals was Super Bowl 50 because Super Bowl L looks stupid. Isn't that funny?
Yes.
So
dumb.
So I did some more research, Kristen. If you and I were to fly to New Orleans this weekend, which one I would never do because I don't want to be a part of all that madness. And I'm not
a chance.
Yeah. And with all of my apologies to our listeners that live in New Orleans, I'm not a fan of that city. And I went once and I, guess what, never need to go again. So I won't be going to the game this weekend, but I found out how much it would cost for you to go if you wanted to go. The cheapest seat I found on vividseats.com was $3,100 in the upper 600 section. They have a 600 section in this stadium, the Caesars Superdome. I think that's what it's called.
Wow.
$3,100. That's the cheapest you're getting through the door. How about the highest, Kristen? This is insane. Only Taylor Swift has this kind of money and corporate people. $781,000 for one seat.
Oh, come on.
In the 45-yard line suite that holds 45 people.
No, come on. Who is spending $750,000 to go see the freaking Chiefs and the Eagles?
Somebody's doing it. The second highest suite ticket that I found in the 300 level suite was $282,000. I mean, come on. Insane. At press time, which is today, there were about 1 to 2% of the tickets still remained. Taylor Swift most definitely has her suite secured. And guess who else is coming? It just broke this morning.
Who?
President Trump will be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, dear God.
This is going to be the first time a sitting U.S. president has attended a Super Bowl since the beginning of time.
Great.
I am sure.
Screw it up for everyone.
I am sure that the Secret Service is losing their shit this morning. Can you imagine?
He's gonna F it up for everyone because there's gonna be increased security. They're gonna have to tell all the however many other tickets they sold, all those people are gonna have to adjust their arrival time.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna take longer to get into the stadium and longer to get out of the stadium, and they'll have shit blocked off. What a pain in the ass. Of course he is. He's a megalomaniac. Of course he's going to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, we don't talk badly about our president of the United States on this show.
Sorry. I beg your pardon.
A few other Super Bowl facts. 123 million people watched the Super Bowl on television last year. That was an all-time record. the most people that watched a single broadcast of anything ever. 123 million people. This year, a 30-second commercial is being sold for $8 million, highest ever. And there's going to be 4 new companies this year that have never had Super Bowl ads before on TV. Haagen-Dazs, Coffee Mate, Instacart, and Ritz Crackers will be running commercials for the first time ever.
Really?
And State Farm, for the first time in many years, has canceled their ad because they're getting lots of shit in California and they probably can't afford an $8 million commercial right now. So,
Wow.
State Farm is very upside down because of natural disasters, as you can imagine.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Well, Instacart, I'm sure, can afford it based on the fees that they charge every time I order groceries from them. I'm not surprised they're paying $8 million for a spot.
Yeah, and groceries.
Ridiculously expensive.
It's true. All right, we're going to talk about a little bit more about groceries in a minute. Let's start this show, Kristen.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition.
You know, I have 2 dogs in my house. And this morning when I got up, I asked one of the dogs how I was doing, and he said, rough. How I was.
Hardy har har.
I messed that up. I was supposed to say, I asked the dogs how I was looking this morning, and he said, rough. Which
Oh,
How's that?
painful either way, Scott.
Speaking of dogs, the damn groundhog, it's kind of a dog, right? Saw his shadow on Sunday morning. Do you know what seeing your shadow means? It means there's going to be six more weeks of winter. For you, not for us. I don't think we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter here in Vegas, but Northern Virginia might. To be fair,
you know what? They're predicting a whole bunch more snow here in February. And normally I am a huge snow lover and I root for snow every single time.
You want your kid to go to damn school.
Yes. However, my opinion has drastically changed now that I have a child in grade school and now that I exclusively work from home because it is massively inconvenient when they cancel school. And so this last time in January, we got, I would say, a total of maybe 8 inches, right? And it was on the last night before public school's winter break was over. And as a result, my kid was out of school for almost an entire week while I was trying to start a new consulting role with a new client. And I just about lost my damn mind. So I'm over it.
So you don't want it. And how many snow days do they have built into their schedule? Is this going to push? Is this going to push the end of the year?
I don't know. It already makes me crazy that they start school so early these days. My son is in 1st grade. He'll be starting 2nd grade, and school starts for the next year on August 18th. It's the middle of August. We never went back to school before Labor Day, and it's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and I would love to know the thinking behind that. Here in Vegas, the kids start the 1st week of August. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Yeah, 1st week of August every year. I don't get it.
That is crazy.
But they get out at the end of May instead of the middle to the end of June. So it's just shifted a month. It should be, I always think that it should be, what is it? Labor Day to Memorial Day. That should be the school year. And there are a lot of advocates out there that think kids should be going year round and just have like a 2 or 3 week summer break. But but I don't like that idea either, because then the older kids can't have summer jobs, you know? I loved having a summer job. It was fun. Even though I got fired for most of them.
Well, that's a story for a different day.
Well, let's talk about the breaking TV news that happened yesterday. I know this means nothing to Kristen, but it is everything to me because it's one of my top 5 television shows of all time. I'm a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And they just announced yesterday that Hulu might be picking up to series a new reboot of Buffy, but not with a whole new cast. They're bringing Sarah Michelle Gellar back as Buffy, a middle-aged Buffy. I assume this is going to be a whole new cast of characters and she's going to be training the next generation. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be happening. So super excited about that. And there's an Oscar winner. Her name is Shiloh Zhao. She's going to be running this new series. So I'm excited about it. Means nothing to you, does it?
New director, Shiloh Zhao. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know anything about the show. I never watched it. I've never been a big Sarah Michelle Gellar fan. So yeah. Congrats to you.
Then we'll move right on. What are you guys watching? We right now are watching The Night Agent season 2 on Netflix, which we're loving.
So are we, and I'm so disappointed in it. The first one was so much better.
Dale and I both agreed that the second season is not as good as the first one, but also don't say too much because we still have 2 episodes to go.
Oh no, we quit after I think the first episode or second episode.
We
just thought it was just.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. But
it was very contrived. We tried to watch the first episode of something last night on Netflix called The Recruit, about an attorney in the CIA who becomes an operative somehow. And I mean, we turned it off after like 20 minutes. It was terrible. We're having a hard time finding something to watch. I know that you don't agree with me here. We absolutely adored Yellowstone, and we started watching 2 of the whatever you call them, the prequel series.
Yeah,
the
1923 or whatever. Yeah,
the 1823 with Faith Hill and Tim McGraw was out of this world, unbelievable, just magnificent. 1923 with Harrison Ford and
Helen Mirren.
I can't think who else. Helen Mirren is so slow, and we just cannot get going on it.
Yeah.
And I'm so disappointed.
Well, Taylor Sheridan, I think he's a genius. And have you guys watched Landman yet with Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes.
How great was that?
Loved it.
But
see, how is it that you love Landman, but you found Yellowstone? You said to me,
there was nothing
redeeming in any of those.
There wasn't not one redeeming character, no one to like, no one to root for. I absolutely hated it, and I don't understand. I can't tell you why I loved Landman so much more. Maybe it's because I loved the cast. I thought the cast was just wonderful. I thought the story was fun and exciting, and I'm so happy there's going to be a season 2.
Me too. Yeah, I don't know what else to watch right now. Rob and I are. This is very unusual for us, but we keep finding things, and I'll say, "Oh, that looks great," and he looks at me like, "Have you lost your mind?" Or the other way around. We can't seem to find anything we agree on. I don't know.
You're gonna have to you're just gonna have to wait for the new Buffy to come out. I want to talk about this, and I know you told me when we were talking yesterday about you guest hosting this week's episode that you didn't know much about OnlyFans.com. But I really wanted to talk about it because, one, it's in my face all the time, and I want to tell you why. OnlyFans billboards are popping up all over Las Vegas. These individual women who have creators on this platform have paid Las Vegas billboard companies to put up these huge billboards to advertise them, not OnlyFans, but just them on OnlyFans. It's amazing to me that these women are making enough money that they can afford a billboard in one of the most expensive towns for billboards in the country, and that's Las Vegas. So I was wondering, how much are these people making? And if you guys don't know what OnlyFans is, it's basically a subscription service where creators create an account and then they put out photographs and videos of themselves. 99.9% of them are doing very dirty, naked things. And
So it really is. So it's porn, really.
it's
It is.
it's individualized porn. Yeah. So they're becoming their own creators. They're not having to go through a middleman. They're just putting it directly out to their subscribers. Now, I've
Interesting.
seen monthly subscriptions as low as $5.99 or $7.99 for someone who doesn't have a name for themselves. But then there's these bigger performers who are making bucks. You've heard of Black China? She was
I guess so. Yeah.
kind of like a reality person. For a while, she was married to Rob Kardashian. They have a kid together.
Oh, okay.
She has 16 million followers on OnlyFans, and she earned $20 million last year from showing her boobs. A top
Wow.
creator named Erica Mena claims she made over $4.5 million per month. A character named,
Damn.
but that's not even the best. Bad Barbie made $52 million last year.
Come on.
And many dirty girls are regularly making $10,000 a month. Just the ones that don't have a name like Bad Barbie. I mean, how great is Bad Barbie?
Wow.
Now, just like in real life, the top 1% of creators are making a third of all the money on the platform. And OnlyFans made $6.6 billion last year. That's how much they paid out to their creators. There's a lot of money in
Wow.
porn. A lot of money in porn. Even boys get in
Holy
on it.
cow.
Tyga, you've heard of Tyga. He has a baby with one of the other Jenners. One of the Jenners. Kylie Jenner. I think they have a kid together. He made
I thought Tyga was
He's a singer.
I thought he was a
Yeah.
recording artist. Okay.
$7 million a month from his 22 million followers. I mean, people are making
Wow.
money. There's this big fat guy named Nicocado Avocado. He doesn't do naked stuff, but he does funny things. He's making $500,000 a month. So basically, I could go through this and tell you all these other stats, but I want to know, Kristen, what can I do? Because I desperately need some more money. Does anyone want to look at a almost 55-year-old guy? I mean, I don't think I want to play with my dick on camera. I don't think anyone wants to see that. But is there anything I can do?
No, we don't. I can speak for everyone when I say we don't. No, but
Are you
so this is interesting to me because I somehow had I mean I knew that OnlyFans was naked people, I guess. But I had some thought in my mind that it was a step below actual porn. But now it makes sense to me when you say, like all the other sort of disruptors in this
Yeah.
space, it's eliminating the middleman of a porn company
Yeah.
hiring actors and actresses.
Exactly.
It's just
distributing it
straight to
directly?
distribution.
But
Yeah.
it's not all porn, because Denise Richards, you know Denise Richards, she's an actress and reality
She used to be
star.
married to Charlie Sheen.
Charlie
right?
Sheen at Once Upon a Time. They have a kid together. Yeah. She's on there, but she's not doing full frontal nudity, but she's
Yes,
selling
yes.
but she's selling
And
near naked things, like, in lingerie or a bra and panties, or bending over, getting something out of the freezer, that kind of thing.
and there was something in recent years about I cannot think of her name to save my life, but I love her to pieces. She was on The Sopranos, and she basically said, "Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say I had to make money on OnlyFans. It's what kept me afloat because I
Yeah.
wasn't working for a stretch of time." What is her name? Um, um, an Italian sounding actress. You know who I'm talking to?
Oh yeah, from The
talking about
Sopranos, Drea.
she's so great. Drea De Matteo. Drea De
Yeah.
Matteo.
Yeah.
And she basically said, I wasn't naked, but I showed pictures of my feet and made the mortgage payment or whatever.
How is she not getting jobs in Hollywood? Because she was on one of the best shows of all time.
I loved her. I
And
don't
she
know.
was really
I don't
good in
know.
it, and she still looks really nice. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
Anyway,
know.
I just wanted to talk about it because I was just really interested to see where this money is coming. You know what else they do that other platforms don't do is these creators offer personalized videos. So for like
Oh.
$1,000, Joe Schmo can have Bad Barbie make him a video where she, is playing with her vagina and saying his name,
I'm talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll do that for
I just want to
$1,000.
say I'm very upset and depressed to hear the statistic that you quoted that the top 1% of creators make a third of all the money. Because I have this fantasy that I'm going to learn video editing software and supplement my strategic HR consulting income making cooking videos in my kitchen because I follow so many people for ideas about
Yeah.
the eternal question of what the F to make for dinner, which is a question you have to answer every single day for the rest of your life
Yeah.
if you're in a traditional role like I am. And I follow so many people that that's all they do. They film themselves making dinner. And half the
Yeah.
time it's like they're filming themselves making a recipe that they're quoting some other creator for having come up with.
Yeah.
And I can do that all day long. Why couldn't I do that?
I've thought about
But you're
doing
telling
it
me I'm
too.
not going to make any money.
No, I don't
You're
know.
telling me I'm not going to make any money.
No, I think that you could. You're very likable. You're pretty. You're not ugly.
No, I'm not.
You're funny, but you have to have a shtick. And I also follow several people. I even follow the people I don't like. There's one kind of trailer parkish woman who is like an aggressive maker of dinner. Like she's always slapping things around and throwing.
ADHD and applesauce lady.
No, I don't know her name. I can't tell you her name,
She's
but she's always making
the
shit
Midwest.
for her kids that is nowhere near healthy in any way. And I'm sure her kids are like probably not in a good way because she's feeding them shit.
Yes. She's the one who says, "Is it good? Of course it's good. I made it."
Yeah,
This fat
her.
lady.
But she's
Yes,
always
I follow her
aggressively
too.
doing it. Yeah. And
I
then
love
there's
it. I love
this
her.
the barefoot guy, the gay guy with the glasses that
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him
Well,
too.
so look what he's done, Kristen. He has cookbooks now. He has
Come fix you a plate with
merchandise.
his cookbook.
That guy, yeah. So I was thinking, I have a very photographable, is that a word? Kitchen. My kitchen would be a perfect place to do a show like that. I just need to
So do it.
I need to get off my ass and start it because I got lots of time on my hands,
Yeah, you should do it. I have actually I bought, like I said, like a $10 tripod from Amazon, and I've filmed myself making dinner a couple of nights. So I have some, I don't know, content. And then, but I know that you hate AI, but I extensively asked my friend Chat GPT a bunch of questions about how people get started, and I have a whole content plan, and I have a bunch of ideas that it helped me come up with, and what people want to see. People want to see you go to Costco and put stuff in your basket, and it seems so crazy when you think about it like that. But I watch videos like that all the time.
Yeah.
Let's see what this person got at Costco. Maybe
Yeah.
I want it too.
Do you know the top person on TikTok? And I don't know, a lot of people are moving away from TikTok, but that aside, the thing that she does is the unboxing. That's all she fucking does. And she's making millions of dollars. Things come to her house.
Unboxes what?
It's called unboxing. They videotape themselves.
I know, but what is she unboxing?
Whatever. It could be anything, slippers, a dress, a new hat, whatever. And companies send her stuff for free just so she can unbox it and show it to people. And she gets paid millions of dollars to do that. Unboxing.
Well, but that is so this is Chat GPT tells me the trick is you have to have multiple streams. So she's not just making money from the number of people that are watching her videos.
Yeah.
It's sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's a differentiated
Yeah.
You have to differentiate your platform, if you will.
Yeah. You just really have to have some kind of shtick. You have to decide, what is my angle going to be and why are people going to watch me? What's going to be different about me making dinner than the next guy? You just got to come up with that formula. So the two people we talked about, the aggressive trailer park lady and the gay guy in wherever he lives, Alabama or something, they found a shtick, come fix you a plate. And and,
Yes,
and
first of all, I feel compelled to correct you. She does not live in a trailer park. She represents an average middle American household that doesn't have a gorgeous kitchen with fucking quartz countertops and gorgeous cabinets. She has a regular kitchen that you would find in a 1980s style house. She does not live in a trailer park. And she has two kids and her husband works and she doesn't have a job outside of her home, and this is how she makes her income. And no one else can see that you're smiling at me right now, but you knew I was going to correct you on that.
well, I like to exaggerate, and I also think that everyone is just like me. So, you know,
Yes, and you're deliberately bombastic. That's who you are. It's okay.
and I don't have a job, so I don't understand all that job stuff. But I'd like to have more money. I always want more money, and I need to use my creativity and my gorgeous kitchen to try to make that happen. So, can we do
Yeah,
that? Can we do
give it a
that?
shot. Give it a shot, but I'm going to be competing against you in my average kitchen, just so you know.
I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, we're gonna move on because I have other things I want to talk about.
And now for something completely different.
I'm using different buttons on my thing than I usually do, and I can't figure it out. Valentine's Day is coming up. It's next weekend, not this weekend, right? Barilla has put out this new heart-shaped pasta. Have you seen this in your store?
I have. It's cute as a button.
Did you buy some?
I didn't because we don't eat a lot of pasta except long noodles. But
Oh my goodness, we eat
maybe I should
pasta
have.
all the time. I'm gonna get this and make it for Dale because I just think it's the cutest thing in the world. And Dale
It is
hates
cute.
spaghetti. He doesn't like the long noodles. He likes things that he can stab and not twirl. So he would love this.
It's the total opposite in our house, which is why
Yeah.
I did not buy it. But it's adorable.
Well, Barilla says this will be out. It's out now, and it will be available through February at stores nationwide. Also coming, which I think is so fun because I love him so much, Post Malone has collaborated with Oreos to put out his own cookie. It's called the Post Malone. And it is basically, this is the first time Oreo has ever done this. They swirled their cream filling. So there's two flavors in that middle of that cookie. It's salted caramel and shortbread flavored cream sandwiched between one chocolate cookie and one golden cookie. How cool is that? Doesn't that sound great?
100%. If I see these in my Target or my grocery store, I'm buying them.
Do you
100%.
love him, or do you love the idea of this cookie?
I could care less about Post Malone. I love the idea of this cookie.
Yeah, I love Post Malone. He's coming here this summer, and I cannot wait to see him again.
Did you wait before we move on from Oreos? Did you see in your stores the Coke Zero flavor Oreo flavored soda? And did you try it?
Coke Zero
So it was
Oreo flavored soda?
yes,
No.
it was so good. It was
It sounds
so
completely
good.
disgusting. Well,
It was delicious.
we don't drink soda anymore. Soda has completely been eliminated from this house. So
We don't either. We don't either. But I saw this by the checkout in the grocery store, and it was the mini cans, and
yeah,
I only saw it once
yeah.
in my Giant, and it was zero sugar, Coke Zero, but Oreo flavored, and it was like a picture of an Oreo on
That's
the can,
it
and I got
sounds
6 little tiny cans. It wasn't disgusting.
yeah.
It was delicious.
Well, I will tell you that I want to backtrack. We do have mini cans of Coke, Pepsi, ginger ale, and root beer, but they're mostly for guests. So we do have them.
Yeah.
I usually try to stock things that other people like to drink, even though I don't drink them.
This gives me another idea, by the way, for content, because I'm going to be a mega content creator. The latest thing, I try to get lots and lots of protein in my diet for various reasons. And one thing I discovered recently is if you mix a soda with one of the like the protein drinks that come in a carton or whatever, if you mix that with soda, it tastes like a Coke float. It tastes like dessert. And I made one with a vanilla protein shake and the Oreo zero sugar Coke thing, and it was like it blew my mind how delicious it was. I think I have one or two of those little cans left, and I should make a post with that.
That does sound really good. Yep, that's the
Okay.
kind of thing that people would probably want to watch. I like that
Yeah,
idea. I like that
yeah.
idea a lot.
Don't steal it. Don't steal my idea.
I'm writing it down now. You know what my favorite thing is, and I'm gonna go to Baskin Robbins today and get one. I love a root beer float. Root beer with vanilla ice cream in it is one of my favorite things
Yeah.
in the entire world. I mean, it just that flavor combination I think is just the most dreamy thing that I've ever had. I absolutely love it,
agree.
and now I have to go get one. But how about this? I want to go. How about this for the Super Bowl party? The weirdest collaboration I've ever seen, maybe. It's Pringles and Miller Lite beer. They're joining forces to create a Pringles-inspired beer can chicken. Beer
I'm on
can
board.
chicken flavored Pringles.
I am on board, 100%.
Here's the tagline. Fire up your taste buds with the crispy, hoppy aroma and roasted chicken flavor. The best of your grill sesh in a new snackable LTO. What does LTO
What does
stand for?
LTO mean? I don't know.
LTO.
LTO.
Lettuce,
Limited time offer.
lettuce, tomato, and onion. Limited time offer is exactly what it is because it's not going to be around forever.
Lettuce, tomato, onion. I would buy that 100,000%.
I would totally buy it too. We always have Pringles in our house, so I would buy this and I would eat the probably. You know, I've posted about this on Facebook before. On the back of the Pringles can, the full size one that's like the size of a tennis ball thing. You know what I'm talking about? The full size can.
Yeah.
It says it's like 5 or 6 servings. It's one. It's one. I can eat the whole fucking can. I can eat the whole can.
Well, so can everyone.
Yeah. Are you a Starbucks family?
I
Yeah,
mean,
off and on.
we are. No, we are. But not. I don't know how to articulate this. Not because we love Starbucks,
Yeah.
but because it happens to be the closest, nearest coffee breakfast place. There's one right in our neighborhood, and so Rob and I, it's like usually that's our one time to hang out and talk to each other because we
Yeah.
both work from home, but we have totally different schedules. We can hardly ever eat lunch together. But in the morning, we drop off Max at school and we almost always go sit at Starbucks and have a cup of coffee and some egg bites together.
Love it.
So, yes. So, yes.
I have actually figured out how to make homemade egg bites at home, and they're about literally 20% of the cost. So,
I know.
have you made them at home? They're really
I have.
easy, really easy, and you can freeze them and then just like warm them up.
I know. I used to meal prep them a lot, but I've kind of gotten out of the habit.
The only reason I brought up Starbucks is because you probably heard in the news they're returning to their roots because their sales have been slipping in the last couple of years. Making some really good adjustments here. If you go into the restaurant now, they've brought back mugs. If you're going to sit down and eat at the restaurant, you can get a mug with free refills, which I think is great. They're also putting the creamer and the sugar back on the counter so that you can do it yourself, which I think is wonderful because I missed that. They took it away several years ago, and I know it makes a mess, and I know someone has to go out there and clean it up constantly, but I love being able to do it myself.
In our Starbucks, so we noticed this week on Monday that the condiment bar was back, and we gave a little cheer. In our restaurant, they took it away during the pandemic, and I assumed that it was for sort of,
Health reasons.
sanitary reasons or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they never brought it back, and I always sort of wondered why. And then I thought, well, maybe it's
more work for them.
It's less. It's right. It's more efficient for them to just put a dollop of cream from behind the bar than to be refilling those silver canisters or whatever. But
exactly. One of my favorite things,
but I like it too.
I don't drink regular whole milk, so I really appreciate the fact that now they don't charge extra for soy milk, coconut milk, oatmeal, almond milk, that kind of thing. I always have almond milk in my mixed drinks, so I appreciate that they're not penalizing me for not drinking whole milk. I can't drink. I'm lactose intolerant, so I just can't drink it. And it'll ruin my day. Not that anybody gives a shit.
The thing that I feel like they need to come up with a solution for, I see this a lot where people want to use the app to order, which we always do, even though we sit down in the restaurant
Yeah.
because we want it to be ready.
Yeah.
Like I place our order when we're leaving Max's school so
All
that
the
we can
time.
just walk to the bar and pick it up.
99% of the time, that's exactly what we do too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've seen people who will say, like, I want to use the app, but I also want you to put it in my reusable container. I don't want you to put this in a paper cup or a plastic whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like, if I come in with my reusable container, you're just going to take the plastic cup that you poured my drink into, pour it in my reusable container, and then you're going to throw it away. So it's like there's no good solution to that. I don't know what the solution would be, but I hear customers complaining about it all the time in the Starbucks.
Yeah. They're also, one of the things they're doing now is they're, instead of using the little sticker that comes out of the machine, they're starting to use their Sharpie and write people's names on the thing again, which I think is kind of a homey, nice, wonderful thing to do. But everyone has fucked up names nowadays, so it's so hard to.
And
yeah.
then they screw up your name, and people post, "How did they get, I don't know, Scott out of David? That's bananas." Whatever. Who knows?
Did you hear? I posted this on Facebook. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. But I went to Arby's, and I walked up to the counter and ordered. And then at the end of placing the order, they asked me my name, and I said Scott, and they wrote down SKAT, scat. I mean, Scott's pretty universal, but I guess if you're not from here, you might not get it.
That's hilarious.
We love Arby's. Arby's is so good. We don't eat there often. I can't think of
the last time I went there.
Oh, it's so yummy. So yummy. They have the best French fries in all of fast food.
But why do you like the roast beef?
Roast beef sandwich. I get the roast beef double and the crinkle fries. The crinkle fries are magic to my mouth. They're the best fries in all of fast food. I swear to God.
I think Rob is a big fan of Arby's, but there's not one particularly close to us.
Gotcha. Well, I'll drive out of my way. We have one just like 3 minutes from our house, so it's easy to do. And you can order ahead of time and it'll be waiting for you. So you were just talking about Costco earlier when you're talking about making your videos.
Yeah.
We are also Costco members, and I am a huge Coke fan over Pepsi. And you probably heard the news that Costco, after several years of being an exclusive Pepsi company at their snack bar, has switched over to Coke. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't buy Pepsi. If I buy soda, I buy Coke.
Yeah.
But if I'm out somewhere and it's a fountain drink, I don't care quite as much because in the can or at home, for some reason, there's a big difference in the way it tastes.
Huge.
But Diet Coke to Diet Pepsi from a fountain thing, I don't feel like there's as much of a difference. So I don't really.
I think there is. I'm not a huge Pepsi fan, but if I go to a restaurant and I order a Coke and they say, "Is Pepsi okay?" I'll say yes all the time because I don't care that much. But there are people out there who are very, very serious about their Coke and Pepsi, and they will not have the other one. They just will not drink it.
Yeah, I know. Some people are fanatics. Well, as long as they don't do away with the $1.50 hot dog deal, they can switch between Coke and Pepsi all they want.
Don't you fret, Kristen. The $1.50 hot dog and soda deal is not going anywhere. Their new CEO has promised that. And it's been around since the mid-'80s.
God.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Love it.
So we're excited about that. I was wondering about this restaurant and the exclusivity thing, though. When you go to a Pizza Hut, it's Pepsi. When you go to a Taco Bell, it's Pepsi. When you go to McDonald's, it's Coke. Why is that a thing? I asked Dale's sister, Tracy, who is a regional manager for Capriati's, and she said, they just decide usually. And it's not like they can't have both. They could have both if they wanted to. Capriati's just happens to have Pepsi in most of their locations because Pepsi made them a great deal. And if you sign up with them and exclusively, they'll give you all the equipment for free. So they give you the canisters, they give you the cooling system, they give you all of that, and they maintain it for you. And then the Pepsi truck comes every couple of days or every week or whatever and gives you new shit. So that's how it works. But I thought that if I ever open a restaurant, I'm going to offer both. Both.
Well, I think it's easier to do if you are one of those restaurants that doesn't have, fountain drinks. Like if you're mostly a to-go restaurant and you
Yeah.
stock your
Well,
drink
then you
cooler,
can
you
have
can put
both.
whatever the hell you want in
Well,
there.
of course.
Yeah.
Like most places. Like most 7-Elevens have both Coke and Pepsi. Yeah.
You
Hey,
do?
in cans. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the show, Kristen. I just wanted to
okay.
say we always do. And finally, egg prices will continue to go up, up, up. It's the number one thing on the news. I mean, they cannot stop talking about fucking eggs. But just so you guys don't blame it all on Trump, it has nothing to do with Trump. It's estimated that egg prices will continue to rise this year, maybe 20% more than where they are now. You probably heard the news that Waffle House has announced a 50-cent per egg surcharge to cover the cost. I mean, they're up 65% from this time last year. It's getting kind of crazy. But we can
they had
afford.
to slaughter all those poor chickens. All those hens had to die because of the bird flu.
I'm wondering, would it make sense? You have a nice big backyard. You have plenty of room. Why don't you buy some chickens? You should buy some chickens and make your own. You don't need a rooster. You don't need a rooster. I thought you needed a rooster to get. That's only to fertilize the eggs.
That's only if you want to
Make more
to
chickens.
procreate.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I'm not getting
Yeah.
chickens. I can't deal with that. I'm willing to pay more for my eggs. And we go through a dozen eggs a week. So, but I'm not, we can afford it, but it is kind of silly.
I probably shouldn't say this because I'll jinx myself, but I cannot allow myself to buy anything other than pasture-raised eggs.
Yeah.
Because they're the only ones that don't suffer.
Yeah.
Cage-free doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
Right.
You have to buy pasture-raised.
Yeah.
And those have always been wickedly, wildly expensive.
Yeah.
And they're still, I've always paid $5, $6, $7 a dozen, and that's what I'm still paying. So I haven't seen the price hike yet.
Me too.
Personally.
And I'm always buying brown eggs. I don't know that there's a difference, but I usually get the brown eggs, and I'm looking for the most. Yeah, the cage. Well, you say cage free is not as good as pasture raised.
No, cage free doesn't mean a god blessed thing. You have to look for pasture raised.
Huh. I didn't know that. Maybe I should look in.
A true fact.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that in my local grocery store. Anyway.
Yes, you should.
That's the whole story. All right, we went too long. 48 minutes,
Oh
Kristen.
dear.
I'll cut some. I'll cut all of you out. It'll just be me to shorten it up. All right, I love you so much. Thanks for doing the show.
I love you.
Thanks for doing the show.
Thank you.
Don't hang up.
Thank you for having me.
I'll talk to you after I turn off the mic. I love you.
Okay.
And Dale.
Love you too.
Dale may or may not be back next week, but I'll be back, and we'll talk to you then. And I also think that everyone is just like me. So,
Yes, and you're deliberately bombastic. That's who you are. It's okay.